Hello.
And I was muted. Hello, Zelda.
Would you like to do the whole?
No, I will not do the whole. So enjoy the Crosskeys tournament with Excalibur and Titan as commentators, and Daruk and Tofile as trackers.
So that excellently professional introduction to Titan. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing absolutely fine. How are you doing?
I'm all right. I don't know if I'm enjoying heat waves and droughts, but other than that, the summer's been lovely. And what better to do on a summer evening than watch some Link to the Past Crosskeys between two excellent players that happen to be friends and teammates in other competitions. So in this almost the last undefeated players bracket, who's your favorite?
I'm gonna have to go with Illus because
And why is that?
he is using his own sprite and he does not take on his opponent's sprite, which is going to confuse everything for me today.
I mean, as long as it doesn't confuse Goomba too badly, though I'm sure that I assume that all of his setups are shadow-based rather than sprite-based, because I've seen him use a bunch of different sprites and not suffer from it. So
yeah, usually you do it from the shadow because then you can use different sprites.
Yeah, some people are committed.
But we are already on the way, and we are both starting Link's house,
which is a bit surprising. Though I don't know if this is. I haven't seen enough of this tournament to know if this is what these guys always do. But I have been told that the Sank start is becoming more and more popular. So this is, in some sense, the old-fashioned start.
Yeah, immediately to the Witch's Hut, and then checking some drop downs here. It's a perfectly normal start. Now, as we said, these are 6-0 runners. The person that wins here today is guaranteed playoff with 7-0.
So that's the bottom of Paradox Cave at the Witch's Hut, which is good to know that it's there, but still, nevertheless, quite frustrating. On account of there's nothing they can do about it until they find the mirror, and it takes away a connector for later. So.
Yeah. However, also Sank is here, so that was good that you didn't start there.
No, it's not. Like, you'd much rather start there, if the Sank is here.
I mean, it's harder to get across to the Witch's Hut then.
Yeah, you just don't, right? Like, just take your Houlihan and call it good, right? Leave the Witch's Hut for later. I actually think the Sanctuary being here is one of the strongest arguments to not have this start.
Okay.
It's also a terrible place for the Sanctuary more generally, because it's not a very good save and quit spot.
Yeah. I'm also a bit surprised that neither of them walks up and gets the item. Because that can be bombs, that can be a sword. Well, we get bombs for triple, so that's fine.
So I assume that they're putting it off to wait for...
That's a flute.
Let's go get that then. Putting off getting the Sanctuary item until they restart to do the back of escape. So.
And that is the front of Turtle Rock.
Turtle Rock, just east of Link's house, which is a fine bomb farm early in the game. So.
Yep. I did not see what was in Hyrule Castle main entrance, but I don't think it was anything useful.
Yeah. There's 3 bombs.
Yeah, you get 3 bombs there.
And let's go do the back of escape. And I think that because the Goomba, everybody basically plans to go and get the back of escape in relatively short order, not walking up to get the item on the first trip to Sank saves a chunk of time.
That saves if you're gonna do that quickly.
I mean, why wouldn't you, right?
Yeah. It's 3 items all in logic. Well, 4 items with the 1 inside.
And it's not really ever going to get better, right? Like, it's going to take basically the amount of time that it takes, no matter when you do it. So, it might as well be soon on the sort of the next available save and quit. Goomba now doing what Illus just did, going to go for the long walk to get his flute in a moment. The cape in here is unlikely to be especially interesting, but it's not nothing.
It's an invulnerability item, so it's useful.
For Goomba and Illus, it's not that useful. I would, I wouldn't expect them to see them use it all that often, unless they find, Bumper Cave immediately or whatever. Goomba did get a one-bomb tree pull. I lost count of his enemy kills, but it's worth knowing that that's out there because
Illus did get that as well.
Okay.
That's a dark room in Kakariko chess game.
Dark room. Then dungeons immediately beside it. This south route to Kak is plausible given the location of Sank. It's still frustrating. You'd really like to find a save and quit spot more over here. The shovel at race game is as chat says, Kek W.
Yeah. We did find Desert Palace West and Castle Tower so far. And Eastern.
And no dip as yet. Certainly you're not going to do it until you finish Kakariko. But castle left.
Okay. So yeah, we have 4 dungeon entrances very, very close to each other up here in Gagra so far. And another connector, the brothers. So yeah, it's not great that Sank is where it is, because we have so many connections in Kak.
Yeah.
Which is going to have a long walk away.
Well, if you're lucky, there's a good connector somewhere that we'll find sooner or later. Right, and we're likely to follow a connector out of here at some point. Green Pendant Eastern.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Tough Isle, our excellent tracker, points out that they do have a fast way over here any second now, as soon as they turn on their phone. So,
that was GT.
Then why didn't he go in for the item? All right, just pick up one more item before doing it. All right, let's see what 2 chests in here get. $5. Not much.
Nah. I mean, you can check the torch, I guess.
Yeah, probably worth the walk. And nothing. Yeah, on subsequent trips, they're going to have a fast wave. Goomba correctly going to the back of the bar first. He doesn't have to feel bad when he finds across the street.
I think that's the first entrance in Kak Village that is useless. From this.
Jeez.
Every single other entrance was a connector or a dungeon.
And there's the well for extra utility.
Yeah, we need a hammer first.
Geez, this is we're gonna be coming back to Kakariko once or twice this game. Smith, at least he doesn't have to go far. We get to the part of the game where we have to deal with myths.
Yeah, Goomba is hot on the heels of Illus, but he did do some checks east of Link's house, so that's the time that Illus has ahead, but it's not much.
No, it's. Ooh, there's another useless entrance.
Yep. And GT.
Ganon. Not GT.
Ganon. Yeah.
It's one of those mark it on the map later, but
And Hera.
That actually might play into some interesting late game routing. Though again, they have a flute. Choosing which dungeon to do at the last minute because of the convenience of Ganon to multiple of them.
But yeah, you have a flute. You're not gonna be far away from Ganon.
Illus trying to death warp to save a few resources getting out of here. Doesn't quite get it from try.
Yeah, I mean the only switcher we have is bombs. So yeah, I get why he wants to save those. Useless part of Ice Cave. Okay. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 dungeon entrances in CAC or south of CAC. And one connector and Smith. That flute is making our runners very happy.
Yeah. And speaking of Bumper Cave, find it when you have a cape and you have nothing better to do. You might as well go through it. But,
yeah, and see, they are happy they have a cape. Especially when it leads all the way up there.
So that's connector via Bumper Cave to floating island, which is likely to be something we do again in the future.
Goomba's saving or quitting out without checking the Kakariko fortune teller.
Means that he misses that?
Yeah, and that is a very good connector to have knowledge of.
Yes, but he's not going to not go there later.
Yeah, he still has the Skullwood, the woods to do, so.
Yeah, I agree that it's a bit unfortunate, but we'll see if it hurts better. Exit of Spec Rock, and with a handy-dandy flute, we don't have to do nearly as much walking near the game as we would. So Goomba's straight back to Kakariko. To dip eastern? All right.
And it's a pendant. He knows that. So you're not gonna full clear this.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's doing this before floating around to some more places, but
okay. Illus made his way up the mountain, and we found swamp.
I feel like the finding stuff part of this seed is not going to take nearly as long as it was.
Yeah, we found most dungeon entrances already at 30 minutes.
Yeah. That's not to say that there's not going to be one last thing, the dam or something hiding somewhere awkward, but certainly the old tracker is more filled in with dungeons than it usually is at this point. Illus getting dead rocked slightly. Dead rocks, as always, are jerks.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how good you are at this game, dead rocks will block you.
Illus not interested in that dark room. And Illus making the totally reasonable play to go the other side of Death Mountain with the go rescue an old man and the third save and quit. I don't think we've tripped over the actual save and quit point yet.
Nope.
Which may be somewhere interesting, in addition to everything else you get from here.
I think that's the one save point that can be absolutely anywhere.
Yes. A random connector on the mountain, we'll see if it's followed. Some later point when this is done with other things up here.
Yeah.
But connectors are less exciting with a flute and no mirror and no more pearl. So
yeah, so far not much out of this Goomba's Eastern dip here. So got a Kino Burner, but we already had Cape, so what?
Burner kills Ice Armor.
Until we find a sword, yeah.
So Mojo Furrow, yes. The old man cannot be rescued in his own house because it crashes the game. So, for reasons that are esoteric. Goomba, and here's another thing you can do with a Crane of Burner. Kill guards.
Kill guards. And
making...
almost vanilla blue boomerang. Yeah, from now on, from what Goomba is finding now, these last two checks is not in logic. We don't have the Suzuki.
Here's our old man rescued with just bombs to see where Illus was, which is well done.
Oh, that's a good key to find. And there's our first sword.
That would have helped rescuing the old man, but Illus made the traditional play of not going in this door until he got the old man here, which I don't know, seems too cute to me, but what do I know?
Is doing the pot strategy.
And good boomerang use by Goomba.
Yeah, nothing of use in here.
Illus now going right. This is a check. These are checks that, or this is a check that Goomba's already done. Let's having to be a little bit careful with no armor upgrades and critical health. Sorry, was that the castle spitting out Goomba at Flute 5, or did he flute over here?
He fluted over there.
I suspect. I have the wrong audio on.
Illus is gonna follow Goomba into the castle, to the bottom here. Since we don't have any fire source, Dark Cross is not even in logic, so I completely understand.
Yeah. Okay, Goomba, having flown to the eastern area, I guess we're not all that surprised not to find very many interesting things in the rest of the world, given that we've got way more than our fair share so far, but it's always disappointing when you go somewhere other than But I do think this castle dip is a totally reasonable play for both of these guys. So I'm not surprised to see it at this point. But assuming we don't find anything distracting along the way, after we're done footing around checking entrances, what's your next the next place you go?
You got a lot of places to go.
Yeah. That assumption was pretty strong. Goomba, not being too cute, gonna get his sword on the way up the hill.
I mean, Illus really, really, really wants to find his mirror soon with that connector up to Dark Floating Island.
Yeah. I mean, they mirrors one of the like 2 or 3 most exciting items to find in the game. So I think is looking to find a mirror is hardly saying anything, I guess.
Yeah. Now this is interesting. Illus is actually gonna go out. No, he's gonna go to Dark Cross. Okay. Doesn't want to orphan that item?
Yeah, and he's got a sword. So Goomba was here without a sword. So
Fair.
Dark Cross is a faff. I think that this is to me a exactly what I would expect Illus to do with his loadout, because they've all done this a million times. We're currently doing commentary on a radio feed of the runners, but
yeah, Illus, watch out.
Just to find the chestnut.
Yeah, get that heart. Oh my!
See? Worth.
What? Goomba getting his Thieves Town big key? And yeah, as Chad points out, Fire Rod is lamp locked. So the lamp cannot be darkroom locked or in any way fire source locked.
Yeah, which is an excellent clue for an item that they don't care about at this point. But Illus discovers one of the exits of the castle is at the Eastern Desert entrance, which I guess is a useful one-time trip over here, and immediately finds TR Bridge. Now we get some bootless laser skips, or, given that this is actually in logic, doing it the legit way. Goomba chooses not to follow the connector, instead to check the Dark World caves. Finds Hype Cave guy. The $20. That would have been an excellent. Goomba really was hoping that something good was there, because Illus didn't do this and isn't going to do it for a while.
Yeah, and I mean, the Moon Pearl could be there.
Moon Pearl could have been there. That also gives him more incentive to come back here later when he gets a Moon Pearl, because 4 items is nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah, I mean, that's a no-brainer. That okay, you know where 4 items are. Okay, we're gonna see where Old Man spits us out and in the light shopping.
Not the best, but given the flute actually one of the less accessible light world locations, you would have maybe kind of liked it to be in the Dark World, but there is still the back exit. And Goomba's going to immediately check.
Now, this is an interesting thing, because Goomba has completely left that Fire Rod.
Yes.
He has no more checks in Hyrule Castle to do.
Well, it's That's the Back of Old Man in Dark Hag, which is interesting place to find.
Yeah, that's nice. Because we need a quick way to get over there. That's probably quicker than fluting to 3 and walking up to the portal.
Yeah, I mean it's yeah, having save and quit in the Dark World is going to be convenient, assuming they don't come up with some easier way to get to the Dark World. Even with conventional Dark World access, that might be the fastest way to build your cabinets.
Okay, now Goomba is gonna go check his connector here that he missed before.
He might not check it, but with the cape in hand, I
mean,
would.
He will see that there is a connector. Now, Illus is following in Goomba's footsteps a little bit.
Yeah, with the early flute, we sort of expect to see quite a lot of divergence, and all those dungeons early, quite a lot of divergence in this light world exploration path, because there's marginal differences in check efficiency and so on, but it's pretty much of a muchness, and so I expect basically them to explore the whole light world for a while.
Okay.
This woods trip not being especially exciting.
Not really. I mean, you got a small keep the thieves down. That's always nice to have when you already have the big key.
That's fair. Yeah, I mean it's a one of the more awkward fetch quest locations.
So what do we have at Ganon drop today?
We haven't. Oh, sorry, that's the last drop, and I missed it.
It was Useless Fairy under the tree, lumberjack tree.
File, who keeps good track of these things for us, points out that it's Uncle at.
Oh.
No, there's a moon pearl just sitting around. Random. And the lamp.
And the lamp. Okay, that maybe shoves Goomba back to his fire rod, but unlikely. Yeah, fire rod is now completely back in logic.
And suspiciously so, in that the lamp is usually not that sort of available in Crosskeys. So, and here's Illus only a few seconds behind Goomba. We'll see if Dark East Death Mountain didn't actually have very much useful. So, okay, this Thieves Town, Village of Outcasts route, not especially interesting yet.
Nah.
Arrow game? Would you like to go gambling? I
think our rollers are good with money for now.
Yeah. Yeah, at this point, Zora is way down the list of things to do, so. The lamp also might be the logical access. In addition to Fire Rod, it appears to be the logical access to part of the Dark World. Given that exit to the Back of Old Man.
Oh, that's Hammer and Eastern big in the Super Buddy Cave.
Yeah, it's quite a good find.
Illus will probably make his way down there soon.
Yeah, he might go north.
Oh,
it's
no.
very possible. I mean, the hammer's great, but I would expect the next thing Illus does after this North Dark World sweep be a South Dark World sweep. We've seen the other side of that connector, which was somewhere not too awful. Oh no, it was up on the mountain. So that connector's dead, unfortunately. Illus using boomerang for intended purpose there. Rarely seen.
Yeah, for those that don't know, the boomerang stuns these mummies who give those very, very long time. When you don't have a cane or fire, or don't want to use a fire source, it's a really good way to stun those.
Yeah, was taking the health refill here. See what arrangement of the dungeon we get. Just a moment. So one of the annoying ones, with the front in the middle, lots of water.
Now, what do we have? Nothing fire rod lock that is important.
Hype Cave on Goomba's side is Desert East. Still not interested. We already know about one entrance to the front of Desert, so no small key in hand. Not urgent. Illus make his double choice, plug himself in a hole rather than walking to the middle. I think
it's a gamble, but it sometimes pays out.
I think it pays off enough. The one you really don't want to do is find the drop down and back to the back of the. But
hook. Oh, and Goomba found the exit of the left side brother's house, and that's a hook shot for Illus.
So, hook shot for Illus, hammer for Goomba. Which would you rather have?
Hook shot because Illus knows where hook shot is.
Hook shot cave. Yeah. Goomba can do Aga Tower while he's here. At least as far as this first test. Yeah, exactly as far as the test.
Yeah, I would rather have the hook shot as well before because we don't have boots yet, and it is a small speed increase. This is a racer.
Yeah, the hammer does let you go places you can't otherwise, which is also faster. So Goomba, having found brothers, might as well go dig up this shovel. Actually wants the bombs, so stops to pick them up. Catches the duck on out of there. There are so many places to go in this village that I can't even say intelligent things about where he's off to. Right. Sorry, I do know. Into the well, which is behind this hammer peg.
Yeah, I mean, this makes sense. You know that there's 5 items there you can pick up.
Curiosity shop dead.
Curious when Goomba is gonna fluke back up the mountain to get to his hype kit.
Yeah, I would guess after North Dark World.
Yeah.
But maybe, given that there's a save and quit involved, you do it before the next save.
Or you do it now.
Yeah. I guess that's a... don't think there's anything else relevant up here for Goomba, other than going across the top, which is also a possibility. No, it's not. No, ignore me. Stupid. Oh, and Mimic Cave. Sorry, that's irrelevant. It's up here. It's even marked.
Yep. And Illus is going to his hookshot cave.
And screws it up, which seems un-Illus-like. Mushroom. Exactly what we're looking for. More fight quests. Don't think we've discovered the potion shop yet, so I would expect to see that turned in relatively promptly.
That's a hookshot and a Tarot Para big key.
Yep. So we can go and parapot anytime.
Illus.
Up with Illus. Just a pod small in Hype Cave, I believe.
Yeah.
Goomba got the item from the guy already. Eternal September. He was here earlier as a bunny. And Illus, as mentioned, immediately turns in the mushroom.
Yep. And I think this is... Yeah, this is Harrow.
This is Harrow. Yep.
Makes perfect sense, because you have a big key. Okay, Illus, you don't use the flute in here.
Not Illus pause buffering to get the perfect setup here. It's going less well than he would be happy with, I think.
I mean, with 2 hearts, you only get 1 shot at this.
Well, you can have as many shots as you like. You just have to visit the nice, scary dragon.
Yeah, but at that point, you only have 1 heart. You're just gonna... Yeah. Get your way through here instead.
You're gonna go up Tower of Hera like a chump. Yeah, this is almost certainly faster than taking the Death Warp and trying again. In fact, I think even given how long that setup took, it might have been faster to walk up the tower.
Yeah, I believe if you get it on your first try, it is faster than walking up, but once you made 1 or 2 misses, at that point, it would have been faster to just walk up. Hey, Ice Rod!
Alright, so how long until we have to beat Trinix?
I mean, we have a Fire Rod and an
away.
Ice Rod already. I mean, it's obvious that Turtle Rock is a pendant.
Illus does go check the big chest for 10 whole arrows. I have faith in Illus's ability to beat Moldorm without any health, but Illus apparently does not. Stops for 4 hearts, which...
Yeah, that was more than I thought. I was thinking, okay, 1 or 2, maybe.
Alright, and Illus has Cape ready to go, in case Cape Moldorm shenanigans are necessary. I am never fast enough on the Cape for this trick to work for me, but see if Illus has better trigger fingers.
I mean, for this last phase with a fighter sword, you want the cape out.
Yeah. Gets a small key to Turtle Rock, and the first crystal of the game at less than 40 minutes, which is not how Crosskeys is supposed to go, but...
So, technically, we could beat Trinex.
Cane of Red Cane.
Oh, sorry, Red Cane to actually go with that. Yes,
yeah.
Fair.
Is a kind of important item.
Yeah.
If you're a crazy person, you can do it with just boots, but you got to be real desperate to be trying to hover that. So, and Daruk very reasonably points out we also need the big key of Turtle Rock.
Right.
So get excited, but maybe not quite that excited.
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried about when Illus is gonna go back to the Arrow shop, or the Arrow game entrance, to get his hammer.
I'm less worried about that than Goomba going and getting the Fire Rod from Dark Cross. Like,
fair enough.
There's a very reasonable chance that Goomba goes to get the Fire Rod from Dark Cross, like, an hour and 20 minutes from now.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it was Illus's last game where I believe he picked up half magic 2 hours after his opponent.
Goomba picks up the map that Illus left behind and gets the Eastern Palace map for his troubles, otherwise known as something completely useless. So
yeah, we already know that's a green pendant.
Illus has interestingly chosen this moment to do Eastern Dip. It's, I guess, slightly faster with the hook shot than when Goomba did it, but he still doesn't have the big key. So Goomba finds the front of Old Man Rescue Cave. I'm mildly surprised that Illus didn't go through there ages ago when he found it in the dark, because he would have known what cave that was just from the
He didn't have a sword then. I think you need that to be able to see what it is.
You can just hop down. And in fact, quite a lot of people's test in the dark for that room is just to see if they hop down that ledge, and then you're committed. So. Oh
yeah, I mean you're committed, but I think you still had checks to do.
No, it was his last entrance on.
Oh yeah, that's true. That is true. Huh.
And I think he then immediately fluted to West Death Mountain. So.
Yeah. Now, if Goomba finds something here in Tower of Hera basement, that's gonna be big for him. Because Illus is not gonna go back there anytime soon.
That fire rod in Dark Cross room is likely to be a difference maker eventually, unfortunately. All right. 3 bombs. That's not going to save Goomba.
Oh, he's walking out.
Yeah.
I assume he just wants to do the Herapot here.
Yep.
Which is faster than that popping. Oh, right. No glove.
Goomba misses the first Herapot attempt.
And deciding, nah, I'm just gonna walk up.
That's our 2 runners 0 for 2.5 on Herapot attempts.
Yep.
That's worse than I would expect from these guys, to be quite honest. Illus deciding to make the Desert Palace dip. Both runners have had a bunch of times they could have done this. I'm not sure why now is the moment. Thoughts?
It's something that they can do? And there is one entrance here that they don't know about yet, so it is a possible connector elsewhere.
Yeah. I mean, yes. I'm not sure why this is the moment, and it's also a connector to somewhere super relevant. So, here's the second logical use of the cape this game. I was making fun
That's
of it
Ice
earlier.
Palace.
All right. Is Illus going to go do a bunch of Ice Palace?
Yes. Or didn't Illus see the Desert East here? No, he didn't, because it's in Hype Cave.
Yeah, sorry. Illus is no hammer, no glove, and so ice is a lot less tempting than it might be. And here's Illus getting to the South Dark World, which he has not yet seen. Having trouble with bushes there.
Yeah, and with both hookshot and hammer, Goomba is heading into GT.
A lot of stuff in here, or at least a lot of theoretical stuff. The glove is a major missing early game item, but neither.
It is.
Flips in GT. Bow in GT. Goomba's pretty happy with himself for this tip.
The longer Illus is going without that hammer, the further I feel he's slipping behind. He has that fire rod advantage. That's fair.
If the fire rod is logically required, I think it's going to take Goomba a long time to find it.
It is. But that pretty much at this point requires Turtle Rock to be a crystal.
Or any of a number of fire rod no, you're right.
Yeah, because we already checked Skullwood's boss entrance, which was nothing. And I think the rest of the checks you can do with the lamp. They're not fun to do with the lamp, but you can.
Yeah, I think they might not logically be in logic. Some of them might not be in logic with the lamp, like getting to Moth and the right side GT bomb jumps. Anything with a torch in an awkward spot. Was that the Skullwood's big Swamp Big? That's a
fetch quest.
A fetch quest that we can't do until we find water. And the CS point said the other way that fire rod can be required, which is if Bombos doesn't turn up.
Okay, Illus, do not die here. Because you are heading towards that hammer.
Those finds the small key to the Tower of Hera size slightly.
He did not want to see that.
Oh
my god,
silvers.
both bows are in GT. Hammer locked.
Here is Illus's. Goomba misses the quick kill. That's surprising. That's I mean, it's a few seconds. It's just a surprising mistake to see. And there's the Bombos. Yeah, that was quite the quite a lot easier ice almost than Goomba was expecting to have to, even 5 seconds before.
Okay, this is interesting. Goomba is gonna finish a not knowing that it is a pendant Easter.
Yeah, on the other hand, Sahasrahla is like 3 doors down, and so this is at least
it's
3
3
items.
checks.
It's 3 long ass checks, but
yeah, It's a really long checks, and if it's nothing, it is complete waste of time.
Yeah. If it's nothing and pedestal, then it's
Fair, but who rolls a pedestal seeding Crosskeys? Really?
Who rolled this? Siberian? He's the kind of guy that might do that. Here's Illus doing left side DT.
Yeah. And I like this rush when you have that hammer. Just there are so many checks that you have in logic in here. Just go do them.
They both have. Sorry, the chat's discussing whether Goomba knows this is Bennett. Goomb's known this Bennett for a while, because as mentioned, we've talked to Sahashwala. He lives like 3 doors down from Eastern Palace, so I think even closer than he does in the vanilla game. But I guess with silvers in hand, Goomba's infinitely tempted by this. So. Yeah, his bottom right silver setup works without ice annoying it. Yes.
And
there's a glove.
A glove. Okay. That was a logically hard required GT dip for your butt.
No, because there's another glove somewhere.
There is another glove somewhere, but if that is glove locked, then yeah.
Yeah, sure. And also there's it's perfectly possible to have a seed where you don't need any gloves. It's not super likely, but it's happened in tournament play. Now
that's
the big key to Misery Mire.
That we don't know if it's required yet. Misery Mire could be a pendant, but okay, Goomba, you have your chance here to go to Dark Cross. He is going.
There's no reason for him to come in here if he's not going to Dark Cross. So
has he checked all the exits?
No, I don't think he's checked. He certainly hasn't checked the middle, because the first time we saw the top of the castle is when Illus came out here. Sorry, was that desert? That was desert.
That was
just. I think neither of them have checked. Sorry, the middle is Desert Palace East, right.
Yeah.
Which Goomba certainly hasn't done, and he also hasn't gotten to Turtle Rock Laser Bridge the other way, so may even be happy about this. Or not.
But there is one spot neither of these runners wants anything to be of use, and that is GT Big Key Chest. Because you don't want to go there again.
There's some chance you do GT right when you have red, and then you can just keep going and get the big chest. It's not the worst. So we saw the bottom of Paradox Cave as our very first entrance in the entire game. Goomba doing the backwards bomb jump. Nice. I don't know if that saves any time, but it's awesome.
Small key to desert, that's good to have.
Especially with easy access to desert.
GT look, Big Key. GT Big Key.
Not quite glove locked. It was either glove or mirror locked. So, and Goomba turning in his mushroom while he's here. This is well done.
Yeah, but how does he get back in?
He doesn't. He's got a flute. Fuck it.
Yeah, but he skipped the bomb up a wall.
Oh, did he? Oops. Did
right,
he just
chat.
Did he just?
He skipped that bomb up a wall. He skipped those 2 checks in the bottom of Paradox, right? He did.
That's a muscle memory right there, because he did the bomb jump on the top floor, which you hardly ever do.
Yep. Oh, I'm gonna laugh so hard if there is a required item in there. Because I don't know but he might have marked off that cave now.
I would. There's no way he didn't, unless he went, "Oh shit!" the moment he walked out the door.
It is possible because you walk out that door. Oh, I'm just gonna turn in the mushroom. Oh wait, I can't go back in. That's very possible.
Looking at his tracker, he's marked it off. But
he did check green pendant. That was a big key to Meyer. Sora has a key.
I guess he was in the area, but this seems... Again, I'm slightly surprised that this is the time to go check the Sora area.
I think he just very recently got the money.
Yeah, and he did go to Paradox and get spat out, in relatively easy swimming range of this. Yeah. But it's not like, the flute takes you here whenever you want, so... Speaking of which, Illus has just full cleared Eastern. I guess there are less things to do out there than...
He's going back. He's going back. He's going back. Goomba, I think, remembered, or... Yeah, he remembers. He knows.
Yeah, there's no way he goes in here, because these exits are not actually useful. So, good on Goomba for feeling stupid, rather than not noticing. Because those were kind of the options. I am really surprised they both went in to get to full clear Eastern, having dipped it.
Same. But they both must have felt like, okay, I got this access. I'm just gonna go clear it. I'm surprised Illus went there first before going to the well.
Yeah, because there might be boots in here, and that saves you seconds, or like many seconds in Eastern. Yeah. And cane in hand, Goomba's off to go do Turtle Rock.
Where did we find the cane?
Zora Ledge. Which is an excellent find in a place that I'm surprised Goomba went. So, which makes us a big key away from Trinex, by the way. Where is Illus off to? Desert? No. Agate
Puzzle Tower.
Goomba was in here with no keys. I expect to see Illus go up to the second chest. Also, man, silver arrows are a cheat code. Goomba having to walk up here like a chump.
Yeah. And Illus knows that Aga 1 clear is dead.
Yeah.
You have absolutely no need to do that, so you just walk up here once and that's it. And nothing.
Have we? We've got flip. We get to anywhere in the Dark World relevant. Illus following up on his gloves immediately. We'll see if he remembers to do all the Paradox at the same time. For a big skill advantage, execution advantage over Goomba.
Nope, he's dropping down, doing it the normal way. And also, he already knows where this exit goes, and he has already turned in the mushroom, so he doesn't need to exit it.
Yeah, no, the odds that Illus screwed this up were very, very small, but gotta try to make fun of him.
Yeah, so... This doesn't put him towards Zora, though.
Yeah. And I expect him to go out the middle exit first.
Yeah.
Just to see where it goes, because they haven't found it yet. And as it happens, it goes somewhere completely useless. It is a nice thing to tick off the map. K45, which is not the most convenient place to get to. So Illus not only does the bump jump the way around that people are used to, but screws it up. So I guess actually execution advantage Goomba in this cave. Except for the minor detail that going out the door is not correct. D-Bean, I strongly disagree that knowing which entrance is where is at all useful. I have no idea where the all these insides of things are in the game anymore. I almost exclusively play entrance rando, and I couldn't tell you where any of these places are. Dungeons. Map of Turtle Rock. We learned that it's a crystal.
We do. So that fire rod was required. Good thing Goomba went and picked it up.
Goomba solves the trickiest maze in the game.
Holding up.
Turns out that this way is. I don't know how you were supposed to discover that as a kid, that going backwards through this room is really easy, if you need to run away for some reason, but... Because it's obviously intentional that it's really easy, but...
So I believe that when you go into that room and have no idea where you're supposed to go, it's supposed to confuse you and not finding the button.
Yeah. Illus making use of literacy to check this entrance while he's here. Whereas Goomba's going properly backwards through TR here. Using TR as a long connector.
That's a clearable Skullwoods.
Yeah. I missed where TR Laser Eyes entrance was.
Sick.
Hey chat, where did Goomba get to? Laser Eyes is at Laser Bridge. Fair.
Yeah.
Goomba back in to do frogs while Illus checks, goes in to beat Mom.
Similar to GT Small, that could make Goomba go back to GT with the big key. With Samaria, he can go for the big chest.
Yeah, he can go right and go all the way through.
Yep.
We also know that there's 2 items behind the climb, which is not in logic yet. Oh, Goomba, you spent so long walking here. So then,
Illus. Oh.
Jeez.
Spikes hurt.
Spikes hurt and Chain Chomps hurt. I am really surprised.
I mean, at least they did it simultaneously, so neither one gained an upper hand just from those deaths.
Yeah, but they don't know that. So now they both get to feel terror. Like, Smoggy to Skullwoods. Goomba feels even more terrible. Goomba, having taken a death, getting to feel dumb, goes and kisses the old man to fill all the way up to, is that 13 hearts?
Yep.
Goomba, remembering the existence of this whirlpool and the old man saving quid, that this is actually faster than fluting over here, which is, there's some good game knowledge. Like,
yeah,
that is some things that, you know, there's your 6-0 skill being showed off. Not so much like to a chain chomp. And Goomba, having walked all the way through Turtle Rock, finds the much more convenient way to get to the middle of Turtle Rock entrance immediately thereafter. Sigh.
Illus, not twice, just get the boss down. There we go.
And Goomba right behind Illus.
Yeah.
So chat is asking who's ahead, and I think that balance probabilities at this point. But so what does Illus need to have happen to catch up?
I mean, Illus still needs to get to his cane. That's the main thing. That's the main thing that he is behind right now in terms of items. So it's not that far behind, but a little bit.
Yeah, and man, they've used the same cracker. You can tell they're two. I have a feeling that Goomba's a few entries ahead, but not tremendously so. But Tofile, on the other hand, who's actually keeping track of these things, thinks that Illus has more overworld checks done. So, and I will believe that, no questions asked, and so Goomba therefore has time to waste, ticking off in the future. It would of course be good for Goomba if before doing so the boots turned up somewhere, but.
This is a long walk for Illus. So what does Kiki hide here in the pod entrance? Oh, that's desert boss room.
Which, like, sigh. Now you have to walk all the way back there later, probably. Given that they've already found two pendants. Sigh.
Yeah.
The last thing you want to do after walking all the way to pod is know that you have to walk all the way to pod again later.
Okay.
So here's Goomba doing GT right.
Yeah. Goomba doing GT right, and Illus is going for his swim check scene.
Yeah. I would expect the Zora area checks after discovering that the island is dead.
Yep.
Goomba
Very
himself.
good. So the one dungeon which the boomerang is really useful is the last dungeon in the game.
And what really useful is overstating the case. It saves frames. Like, it's not actually.
I mean, yeah, but in any other dungeon, it's really not that useful. Skullwoods maybe don't give those.
And yeah, it saves frames here and there, but yeah, the fact that Tile Room is the most useful thing you can do with Blue Boomerang is a bit silly. All right, here's the last four right side
we
checks.
got an armor upgrade. But that was it.
Package. Yeah. But now the walk through the room, one of the rooms of the game that people are not very good at on average. I expect that these guys are, but
I mean, yeah, that's about as fast as you can walk through that room.
Yep, that was excellently done.
No boots, so bomb jumping.
Yep. I mean, you could do that room the intended way, but why do that? Illus off to to Turtle Rock. Now that he's got a cane, we'll find this front area uninspiring.
Big Ice Palace in the GT Big Chest. Okay. Thanks, game. I mean, that might remind them that, hey, you have Cane, you have Fire Rod, you have Hookshot, you have Hammer. You can full clear Ice Palace.
Yes, Goomba does not know where Ice Palace is. So that is one of the overworld checks that Illus has that Goomba has not gotten.
Yeah.
And it's on top of the castle, which you need to go connector diving to find. And in fact, it's the Hyrule Castle main entrance. There was another connector, the angled dark room vector up there. So there's two ways for Goomba to find his way up there, but or a mirror someday. But it's not in the most convenient location. So that's actually a place where if there's something good in Ice Palace, Illus might get time back.
I mean, Illus has the same... Does it? No, he doesn't have the big key yet.
My Big Friday, yes, Goomba did go back for Paradox. On his next save and quit, he went straight back in there, so...
Illus is gonna follow Goomba right after him into DT. Maybe he will be reminded by that Ice Palace Big that, hey, here's a dungeon you can full clear.
Yeah. It is a bit out of the way. Chat very correctly pointing out that Illus can't get there on account of lack of keys. Means that Illus is orphaning that check forever.
Well, Goomba just found Ice Palace.
Yeah. And as mentioned, can full clear. So, all right. So let's watch Goomba do some Ice Palace. With Red Cane in hand, not only can we full clear, we can full clear the cheaty, faster, obviously better way. So did Illus get as far as Room and Bail on here? Yep. Because no key.
That is unfortunate.
That makes... It's an odd, like, not sure why that was the time to go do exactly that one check for Illus. Did he forget he'd already used the key? I don't know. Apparently he used a key on accident, which is bad, or just unfortunate. So, for lack of better ideas, Illus is now off to the pyramid.
I mean, you have pretty much orphaned catfish in this area, in this seed, so if it's the time to do it, it's now.
Master Sword in Ice Palace.
Yeah, that Master Sword is always nice to get. Well,
yeah, especially just before you're going to do a boss fight where the Master Sword is real helpful. Because it's not like he has the magic to do this without some sword. I mean, you can do hammer.
I think Goomba still has a green potion.
Yeah.
Illus used this.
Illus finally finds the restock rats, which is not the most exciting cave to turn up at the point in the game.
So yeah, Illus is not gonna get punished for not going to the rest of goddamn names. to do right side GT. That's what I was going with that. Because the items that were given there were not useful at all. Well,
yeah,
armor is useful, but not in clearing the game. A key to mire, so what?
Yeah, the first one saves you some seconds. Illus busting out invincibility item for the purposes of actual invincibility, due to once again being at a surprisingly low health.
We have not seen the dark shopping mall yet.
We have not. These are new check. And there's a full clearable Thieves Town. So I guess I know what Illus is going to be doing for the next 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, he was busy thinking hard about what to do, what else to do with his life after these checks. And like, oh wait, I can stop thinking for a minute.
I mean, this is also the best moment to think as well, because you can do this on autopilot. You have a sword, you have a hammer, you have everything you need to clear this easily. So now you can just...
Sorry. You can think for a minute. Just a random comment. We haven't seen the other two swords anymore. That sword was cape locked. At least as far as Goomba is concerned. So, my making fun of the cape very early in the game has not paid off. It's turned out to be extremely useful, several different times. So, Goomba also does not have Desert Big, so is going to walk all the way into Pod and be sad. That's not a time loss for Illus anymore.
I'm just wondering, where the hell is that mirror?
It doesn't have to be anywhere. Like, somebody was asking in chat almost at the very beginning of the seed, can you have mirror go mode? And we were like, happens sometimes. And whoever you were, if you were the one asking that question, if it turns out that this is last location mirror, this is all your fault. I think it's still unlikely, but it is like the lamp, possible to be in some pretty flipping awkward locations.
And that's mitts in the attic.
Were those mitts glove locked? Hard to keep track of at this point.
Yes, because these were under the rock.
Oh, we're under the rock. We're under the rock right now. Yes.
So yeah, those gloves on Armos was hard required to get. Illus has been running very, very low on health this entire seed.
Jacob are correct. We have not found any connectors to my area. There's been a little bit less connector diving in this seed than there usually is because of the flute.
Yeah, but we have one now. We have flute and mitts.
Yes, right. That's why the mitts are a big deal. That Illus has found.
Right. So yeah, that is a very big deal to actually find them. Because
which is often not the case for mitts and crosskeys. Crosskeys.
Because if you have a single connector into the mire area, you're gonna find it at some point. But if there's not, and you have required items in the mire area, you're gonna need those mitts.
Goomba, like Illus, making the tedious walk over the pyramid without mirror, having found the top of the castle some other way. So you gotta come over here at some point.
Illus did that path in the basement because he didn't want to lose any extra health from the conveyors and the blobs.
Goomba hopping in the water to get to this whirlpool.
He's also
getting these checks in before checking Dark Witch Hut. Illus follows the script blind. And Goomba enters Thieves' Town just as Illus is leaving.
Yep.
The rest of the Dark Shopping Mall. Nothing.
Nothing.
The only thing over here is Thieves' Town. With the mitts. Like Goomba, going to take the whirlpool back up north. Both of them actually whirlpool down.
This bomber lets him.
He's got 12 hearts to play with for at least 3 or 4 seconds there.
Yeah, and they're all gone.
Illus, I think, does use health as a resource, at least somewhat deliberately, but I think he's overdoing it as much today.
We didn't see catfish from Goomba.
Nope, Goomba whirlpooled, walked up here, whirlpooled down to the Dark Shopping Mall, and I assume we'll whirlpool back up to get these 2 checks.
I hope so.
Just like Illus is doing. Yeah,
we take
that powder.
We take that.
That was very aggressive pausing to save and quit by Illus, but was fortunately not too fast on the trigger finger.
This is Meyer check.
Yeah, going straight to Meyer once you found the mitts in an out-of-the-way spot seems like the correctest thing you could possibly do with your mitts. Even if you don't have a mirror and therefore get to feel slightly sad.
Maya was ether. Ooh. So this is 5 checks.
See, go to the mire. It's great. Big key to Skullwoods. Boo. Red meringue. Boo. Mire key. That's the first one for Illus. That's actually useful. Yeah, the Illus is definitely giving us the preview of what Goomba's going to be up to a bit. That is at the woods drop down. The other thing that Illus might do when he's in the vicinity is read the pedestal, but might be too early for that. Almost certainly too early for that.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you're just gonna do dungeons, and if it happens to be the lost pendant, okay, I got an extra item out of it.
Yeah. Well, and with the new, new is a strong word, patch where the maps work in dungeons, the odds you never see a single map check in a Crosskeys game are pretty high. Sausage is the Verst, a German language joke with appropriate runners today. What's your review of this pun, sir?
I actually know enough German to get that joke.
It's not very. You don't need to know very much German.
Yeah, and for a German joke, it's very good.
Cypher, I believe you're. A big old shield for Illus. Maybe that'll help surface health. Seems unlikely. On account of it doesn't really do it.
Unfortunately, no, because the mirror shield doesn't actually help you against almost
any
anything.
enemies whatsoever. Yeah. Yeah. Here's Goomba off to go do his catfish checks.
Yeah, and it isn't even... The shield isn't even required logically anymore.
When was it ever required logically? I mean, it was in the logic for...
It was in the logic for getting... I think it still is in basic, yeah. But the type that we're running here, it doesn't matter. The logic thinks you can still do laser bridge anyway.
Is that true in Crosskeys? For a long time, Crosskeys had actually different logic for TR bridge because you might have to do it super early in the game.
I'm not 100% sure, but I think the logic is that you should be able to do it even without any items.
Illus finally gets around to checking the Dark West Death Mountain.
Yeah, and so we have 4 pod keys, small pod keys, on Goomba's side, and we still haven't found pod.
Yeah, I mean, we got, did you say 7 dungeon entrances in Kakariko in the first 13 minutes? And we haven't found either Meyer or pod since then.
Yeah.
So. Ooh, Goomba actually using sword beams for something? What's going on? That actually was well done, but... so Goomba hasn't yet done Dark East Death Mountain at all, because he never did find the connector floating.
Yeah, but there was nothing there, so...
Other than potentially whatever's on floating at.
Where are we going, Illus?
Out this connector. We're connector diving at this point, because Illus is missing a bunch of connector locations. Not a whole lot of the rest of the map, so... given the lack of mirror.
Oh, right, he knew about this.
He did. But last time I was here, he didn't have a glove.
Now he has 2. Oh, that's a dam.
Which, we do have Swamp Palace and Flippers and all the rest of the stuff, so...
Except
for the front door key.
I mean, come on. With this type of seed, it's vanilla, right? Or just here. Nope. I bet Illus was betting that was the swamp spot. Right, we haven't seen this check yet. Yeah, Illus still has to do Ice Palace, which he's currently lacking the big key. Not that that actually prevents these runners from doing it, but it means that one check he is not going to be able to do it there. Oh, that's boots. That's boots. And yeah, Goomba is going to get his boots very, very shortly. And with those boots, we got a lot of new checks to go upon. Not in the bonk rocks by. And yeah, let's lock boots. No, just glove lock boots. Never mind. Oh, hi, bomb shop. Yeah, Illus, you know one of them. Ice Palace is our second red crystal. Interesting. That means the moment Goomba goes there, he has the big bomb. Let's see, how many Ice Palace small keys do we have? We might need one more Ice Palace small key for it to be completely in logic, but we can definitely do Pyramid Fairy at this moment. Goomba seeing the bomb and stopping, thinking, and then not picking it up. And there, Illus finds his GT small key, which he didn't have before. Okay, so Goomba saw the bomb, walked out, got to the bonk rocks, which didn't have anything, and then goes out to flute to 4 and flute to 5, and then walk with it over. And a intentional death warp. And yeah, for those that weren't here at the start, Agate 2 is inside. Sorry, the uncle is inside the pyramid. So there are 2 items in there that are locked by GT. Illus is showing us Magic Bat, which we haven't seen yet. This could be big, because Goomba might not go to Catfish. Maybe. Oh, Spiral Cave in Pyramid Fairy. Okay. And Magic Bat gives us a map to Swamp. Dwap, wap, wah. And there's nothing behind there. Yeah, Illus is gonna go back with his small key now to actually do the right side GT, which he's gonna find his armor and the big key to spells. So, what do we actually need? We need to know where our crystals and our pendants are, but we only have one pendant left. So, assuming that we have to clear all, just for the sake of it, we still need a big key to desert. We know the entrance. We don't know where the pod entrance is at all, and we're gonna need a big key. We need a small swamp small key, and we need to know where Misery Mire is. Possibly a mirror, in case Pod or Misery Mire are mirror-locked entrances. Yeah. So we need several more keys, one per dungeon, and 2 entrances. Illus getting his eyes big and probably cursing. See, I believe this was the way to Ice Palace for Illus. Yeah.
I was saying very clever things to a muted microphone. This mic has a hardware mute button that I accidentally pushed and wasn't aware of the existence of. So my apologies, commentary. Titan and chat. I promise I said at least 1 or 2 clever things.
Yeah. I maybe trust you on that one.
I mean, the other option is I just ditched you for some number of minutes, so hopefully you don't think that badly of me. So I was trying to say that in addition to the potential need for mirror, ether and mystery thing to get into TR are both also potentially on the menu. Here's Misery Mire, however, behind Hammer Pegs, which is a non-mirror locked location that we haven't checked yet.
Yeah. However, Goomba does not have a map, so we still don't know if that is a crystal or a pendant. But Goomba is gonna clear it.
Yeah, well, yes, obviously. They're very much both acting like they're low on things to do. So, this does not surprise me at all.
Are they still out there somewhere?
So they only recently got the boots, which leaves the boots check that often gets left behind for a while. The bonk rocks behind Link's house, or sorry, behind Bomb Shop, as a possible as well.
We saw the bonk rocks. Or was that behind Bomb Shop?
We saw the bonk rocks behind Link's house.
Right.
But not the Dark World version.
Okay, Dark World version. Yeah, that's
which is super out of the way. Like it's the boots check that often gets left for a while.
Fair, but it is a save and quit to Link's house, take the portal south, and then walk up.
Yeah, it's like a 30-second check or something.
Yeah, it's a little bit out of the way, but it's not like Thieves' Town Big Chest.
Yeah.
There are worse checks. And Goomba has now found all the swords.
And TR Big Key.
TR Big Key. We're gonna need that.
That's our access to Trinex.
mean, that is a biggie we knew we were gonna have to get.
Yes. Yeah, and certainly the role of Ice Rod is not being played by Ice Rod in today's seat. Illus finally gets a Master Sword. Goomba remembers that he has an excess of Meyer keys, does not even bother picking up the one under the pot. Saves, whatever, 3 seconds.
I mean, it stacks up.
Also, one of my favorite throw yourself in a pit strategies is the hook across to that chest, and then run south, because you run faster than the camera pans when you're in a pit, which is very silly. With all the stuff in the world.
Illus has enough magic with the 2 pot refills to use bombos, right? Nope, he does not take that. He doesn't take that chance. He is gonna pick up some extra him.
Yeah, I mean, having Fire Rod shots is valuable as well, given that he only has Master Sword.
And he does not have his green goo, which Goomba used here.
Right. But still a good few things. Fortunately, also does not have sword beams, which would actually be useful right at the moment. But
at least he has blue mail, so he doesn't take that much damage.
And gets out the hammer in case convenient hammer hit comes in here. Goomba completes his boss fight while I'm busy looking at Illus. Picks up his 4th crystal. Does a map check. Learns something. Not enough things, I don't believe.
So by process of elimination,
we're down to 2 choices. Goomba picks up the frog. And the smith lives quite close to his vanilla location, so he's easy enough to drop off.
With the flute, easy enough.
This flute we got super early.
Oh, that was a map check. Desert Palace is our last time.
Well, that's not the way around you wanted that to be if you're Goomba.
Small key. Pod.
5 pods.
Yeah, so now we can actually full clear pod.
No, we can't.
No, sorry. When we get the big key, we can full clear pod when we find.
Now, there's at this point, not insubstantial chance that it's there. But
so if either of our runners find the desert big, I will be very worried about that.
Yeah, but I mean, yes, desert is in one of the worst spots it could possibly be in. It's in the pod entrance for those here that have missed it.
Yeah.
But it's the actual dungeon doesn't take very long. So
No. I mean that.
Yes.
You might actually have to meet a Duped in this seat, which is always bad.
I mean, in this, like, what I'm trying to argue is that in this case, it's not that bad, right? Like, they've more or less accidentally gotten 2 pendants already. The back of desert is whatever. It's not like a 20-minute quest to go get all your pendants, like it sometimes is. Dark Bonk Rocks is unchecked.
Yeah. And I may be misremembering, but wasn't Dark Bancrox the pod in Illus' last race as well?
I didn't watch it, so
No.
I will believe you.
It might have been. Because I believe that was Boots Go mode.
Right. Goomba remembering to check Ice Palace main while he's here. Okay. So by Goomba's tracker, the only Dark World entrances he has remaining that are not mirror locked, which includes the top of the mountain as far as he's concerned, because he has not followed the connector from through Bumper Cave. The only Dark World entrances he hasn't checked that he knows he can get to are Fire Main and Dark Bog Rocks. So this is presumably Dark Bog Rocks right here. The one piece of knowledge that Illus has that Goomba does not is that Bumper Cave, which is in the fortune teller north of Kakariko, leads to the floating island, which is only access we've had to Dark East Death Mountain, the top of Dark East Death Mountain.
Looks dead, so...
We haven't save and quit to this to the ice rod area so many times in this seed.
Yeah, I mean it's the quickest way to just shoot away.
Yeah, it is. Goomba gets too cute and misses his duck, and also caught the wrong flight. So.
And then goes down to 8, which he just could have swum to.
Oh, put a rock. This is the Trinex fight. And,
no, big chest.
Big chest.
That was the last check in Rock.
Right. Sorry, he just did the Trinex fight. Yes, one bow was in Stelfos' room, and one bow was in Bob's chest. Goomba turning in his powder, which he remembered to pick up.
I have to think, where haven't we been yet?
Upstairs GT, I don't off the top of my head know how far you can get with 2 keys, and if the keys that we have are in logic. But Goomba is definitely running out of things.
Mm-hmm.
Still interested in going
as is Illus once he finishes Meyer here.
Yeah.
Oh, finally Goomba is gonna do this connector.
And I think find nothing in particular. But
nope.
Except that Turtle Rock entrance, Illus obviously did not check.
Oh, we did not check this entrance.
Sorry, we didn't check this entrance, and we didn't check Turtle Rock.
No, because we didn't have a glove or a moonpill then. But it's nothing, so...
But Turtle Rock main can be something.
Yeah, Turtle Rock main can be something. I don't think we checked the requirement. And nothing in the chess game.
Din the Human, Meyer main is Ether, as is marked on the tracker, and we don't have Ether yet. So.
And we have vanilla medallion requirements.
And we don't have either of them. So. You know, it's getting to that time when it's actual map check time for these sorts of runners.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know what Goomba has left to do.
Purple chest.
Jeez, yeah, you're right.
Goomba? Okay, he's
Goomba's going to Village of Outcasts.
Yeah.
Siberian, they can't actually get to the... Like, they can't get the item off the pedestal at the moment, even if they wanted to. So, reading it doesn't give you... like... There's not actually a check there right now. There's knowledge, but... you can read it and be sad all you like. Swamp First Chest is now available. They found the dam.
Mm-hmm.
That's not my idea of an exciting chest check. I also don't remember where Swamp is. It's on my tracker somewhere. We're down to things that are terrible, but possible as things to do. JD Silvergun. So, in some sense, it doesn't matter how bad this is, if it's the thing that's left.
I mean, I did cast the curse them when they found swamp entrance or the dam. That hey, look, we can clear swamp almost. We just need the small key, which could be vanilla.
I mean, or this could be a mirror or a bunch of other things that are relevant.
Oh yeah. Or a small key pod.
All right. So we turned in the purple chest. We remember the swamp, the first check in swamp. What else does Goomba have to do?
Well, he has the possibility to feel very far behind, which he probably does by this point.
Yeah, and
GT climb and get to the 2 items on Uncle.
With no keys?
Goomba?
He can get the mini Homosor room. Like,
yeah, but he can't finish this, right?
Yes, but what else is he gonna do?
Yeah, fair. But there's really nothing else he could do now, I think.
Like, yes, this is terrible, but the least terrible thing is still the best thing you can do.
Yeah.
Tafile, what other check does he have that exists? Right. Sorry, Aga 2, or Aga, the second check in Castle Tower, which Illus has done, but Goomba has not. I think that one check is more than twice as fast as these 2 checks, but Illus has the Ice of Shame on the Trinex victory screen here. But... yeah, Aga Tower is in Kakariko like everything else is. So. And there's, given how few checks are in Logic, there's every chance that there's another GT in here as well. So.
Oh yeah. I mean, we still have 2 GT small keys to find.
Yeah, in potentially not very many places. I mean, there's locations out there. There's tons of them in pods somewhere, but Illus finally getting back to the mountain that he found an hour and 50 minutes ago or something. Yeah, there's I guess frustratingly quite a lot of checks out there that they can't get to. Right, all of the checks in Swamp and all of the checks in Pod. There's actually quite a lot of checks, but they're inaccessible. the moment. All right, so here's our checks that we can have. An arrow. A mirror. One of these things is better
we have
than
one
the
more
others.
here. We can't go through this door, but this is a check we can do. Vanilla Smoky.
Vanilla Smoky. Which takes us out of Logic Land because we didn't waste a check, a key in the place we shouldn't waste a key. All right, what's here? Red Rupee. Might as well continue while you're here.
Yeah, there's 2 more checks.
We've well left the realms of logic, but we also well don't care. So
I mean, that mirror was in logic.
Yes, the mirror was in logic.
Yeah.
So you might reasonably abandon this and go follow the mirror, right? But
oh yeah. But when you're up here, you have 3 items. You might as well just check him.
Yeah.
Because you still need a Swamp Small. You still need Pod Big. You might need a medallion. Because that's 2 entrances that would contain your swamp or... No, sorry. Would contain your pod.
That's the wrong path. All right, Illus gets the bad news about Spiral Cave being 1, a bloopy, and 2, leading to a very important exit that's mirror required.
Mm-hmm. Hey, look! Quake on Uncle. And a map. To GT, of course.
Yeah, that one's useful.
Oh. Okay,
he's here.
Yeah. He's here.
Getting here is a pain. So hilariously, this is the first mirror check, as Ellison is pointing out in chat, but apparently refusing to listen to us. We now have Quake for Vanilla Turtle Rock entrance, in addition to Mirror. Quake is out of logic, but we don't care.
I mean, Goomba might be caring now.
And it's Spec Rock, which Goomba should check, because I'm pretty sure they haven't found that.
Must have. Otherwise he would go up and check, right?
I do not remember seeing it, but okay. Rithrin says we've seen it. I missed it entirely.
I mean, right now it feels like Swamp Small is in pod, and you just have need to find, and I mean, you need to find the big key as well.
Yeah, it feels. I agree with Coper, who says that he doesn't see any realistic way for Illus to win. That Illus is really lacking in ways for Goomba to make mistakes from here, right? Like, it feels like there are few enough things left in the world that Goomba can't really get lost in any rabbit holes. But maybe, what, like, do you see outs for Illus from here?
I mean, Illus would have needed to run up GT earlier to have much of a chance, but there are other checks you want to do first.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that there are other checks you want to do first means that Goomba's well ahead, right? Because he ran out of checks. He ran out of checks to the point of doing, terrible GT climb. So
right, there is a small key on the island from Meyer.
No, yeah, that's the one that doesn't solve the thing.
Have we seen this Brothers connector?
Nope. We saw the other side. We saw one side of it ages and ages.
Oh,
and ages.
right. We have seen it.
Um,
yeah, Goomba did it before, but now he has a mirror. So
yes, now he wants to go back, because Goomba still hasn't found the top of the mountain in the Light World.
This one is locked.
This Illus climbing? No, it's Illus doing Para Basement. I mean, this is certainly faster than climbing all the way to Mini Helmer Room.
So we're 2 hours into this seed. Both runners have to, at this point, feel behind, right?
I think that is less. I mean, Goomba did just stone cold last location, the mirror, but it was terrible, right? Like, I think that if he thinks he routed efficiently, and I think he does, right? There is no reason to think that Illus got there at any reasonable time before Goomba did. Right, because Goomba knows Illus. Like, Illus isn't going to just YOLO climb GT without enough keys. And Goomba knows the keys aren't out there, because he's checked everything. So, and Goomba's quite right. There's Pod. You know, and this is probably the answer, because there's a ton of stuffing.
So, we still need Swamp Small and Swamp Small and Pod Big. We still have a Desert Big out there.
Yep.
And there's a logical GT. Small key.
Which gets us the Ether from...
No. It gets us Quake from the old man, from Uncle.
Sorry. It got us a medallion to an on entrance, and I fail it.
Yeah, and we haven't checked TR yet. Big key to desert. Now pets in logic.
Yep. Illus bonks across to the laser eyes entrance to figure out if that solves all those problems. Does not, but and that move is. I mean, it's in logic several different ways, but it's particularly in logic because you can just walk around. It's only like 3 rooms farther, but you have to kill some pokies.
So Goomba has an entire only left. He has 11 items left here in Pod. But if you don't find your neither big key nor small key, do you go up the mountain and do the mirror checks at the top of the mountain up there? Because that's quite a few items. Or do you just go to do desert and pull bed?
I would be tempted to go do the mirror checks, but there's the sewers key.
Yeah.
Yet another not the key we're looking for. There's a bunch of mirror checks up on the mountain, and we're pretty dense in item caves remaining. So,
yeah,
I think that's got more density than the back of desert, and the long walk to pedestal.
Yeah. Swamp Small. Okay, so we're in Pod Big Gold. Goomba.
Yes. I just lost Illus's stream.
Is that just lost that as well? We are gonna work on getting that back.
Yep. Let us. Apologies, everyone. we assume without proof that Illus did not just rage quit and is... Oh, jeez. Goomba checks his 12 things, got his swamp small, and gets to go do something else. Oh, apparently Illus had a power cut because he's just rebooting his emulator on our version of the stream, so that's not good. So that looks like a full-on computer crash or power cut or something. And he's back in action, so... I'm impressed that Illus has the composure to remember what the heck he's up to after that. Yeah, I guess in good news, bad news, Illus was way behind, which you'll find out eventually. This isn't what's going to cost him this race. But, Illus making the terrible front of Swamp Palace check, which is correct, but not the right answer.
And now my mic is not muted anymore. Yay! It's one of those
I'm
days,
glad
right?
You're just as professional as I am, and we both understand how mute buttons work. This is a volunteer gig, folks. If you'd like to volunteer, we always need more of them. Trackers, commentators, restreamers, come and help out. We're always looking for more crews. And also thank you to our current volunteers that are not the two of us doing commentary. Daruk and Tofile do a ton of tracking, and Siberian, I think, does a ton of restreaming as well. So, variously, the Titan and I are just slackers that turn up occasionally. Illus has finally realized he has to do the worst thing ever, which is climbing without enough keys. Sorry, and chat tells me we have to thank ourselves too. So thank you, the Titan. You're an excellent co-commentator. I'm
Thank
pleased.
you, Excalibur. You're doing fantastic as well.
In all of the excitement, I haven't been doing a great job of keeping track of Goomba's checks, but it looks like he hasn't found the thing he's looking for, which is the pod bit key, and has left behind left side entirely correctly. And so he's really hoping it's on Argus, otherwise he has to come back in and do left side the slow way.
One item go mode, you just rush the boss here and hope you find the item along the way.
Yeah.
That's what you do.
Silvers helps a lot. Makes that phase a lot easier. And sad news, we get to go back in. Failing that, I believe that there's item caves out there. So if it's not left side swamp, we get to go like open mire entrance and open turtle rock and other exciting things like that. Oh, and Tower of Hera, which we haven't fucking been to in 2 hours and 7 minutes.
Yeah.
Did you just bail on left side swamp?
He did. That is a way back in for us. Despite the power cut. Because that
I don't
go back there.
I think that Goomba can do literally everything else in the game and get back there and still win. Because Illus has to do this, then go find Pod, then do Swamp. Like,
So if he starts by going up the mountain, finding Podbig,
yeah,
that is a lot faster.
That's fair.
However, if Podbig is up here, then Goomba's gonna find it right now.
Illus having bad luck with the torch room here in GT. Yeah, we do have the Desert Big, and I poo-pooed going and pulling pedestal earlier, but that is a place.
That is a place, and I think Goomba might be doing that before going back to Swamp Left.
Yeah. Illus gets the mirror and is going to make the out of logic check here. Get the vanilla key and some fairies. All ready to mirror out, and it's like, oh, all right.
He was skipping to the mirror there, and oh.
I mean, fortunately, was slow enough on the quick swap that did not get to the mirror and goof mirror out, which I've seen people do.
Okay, so what Illus is doing here is not required at all. However, he can't know that, so he's gonna do it.
Do we know that for sure?
The only thing we got from here was Quake, and Quake just unlocked nothing.
Right, sorry, yeah.
Okay, this was an interesting pathing from Goomba. He knew he could get back into Swamp quick this way.
Via the loop.
Via the loop up the mountain. So I approve of this. Intentionally skipping left side. After you've done that loop, then you go back in.
I do need to it's a good route. We can there is the ether entrance out there still, which could have the potion shop. We turned in the mushroom like an hour ago. Goddessera, yes. Both runners have opened Pod Main and found Death Palace.
And yeah, we saw Meyer entrance as well. So Ether was also nothing.
Oh, sorry. I apparently am completely spaced out watching the wrong runner going places. Illus trying to be fancy with mirror location here, but forgets exactly how to set this up.
So we have not seen Bombos tablet because that is mirror required. As was the Ether.
Yeah, which, as previously mentioned, we got like quite recently. Mm-hmm.
It's not in Swamp. Where could this Podbig be? I have a feeling it's on the mushroom. Just a feeling.
Ped, Landmo, Bombos check.
Okay.
We found cave 45. Sorry. The only item caves that is left is Magic Shop. The only places it can be are GT entrance. GT entrance? Am I missing one? Am I missing a Dark World entrance that mirror check?
I don't think we do. So yeah, okay, that's locked. Okay, so we got Desert Big here for the big chest. That's one check.
Tofile, I don't play enough non-randomized games to remember which one is the map chest. I will strongly admit. Titan, do you remember which check in GT has the map in it? Because I sure don't.
Nope.
Here's a check that we know, but Goomba does not. Oh, the firebar room.
Did both of them skip firebar room?
Yes, because they didn't have the keys for it.
Oh no. That could easily be forgotten about.
Yeah. Given that they were out of keys, that they both were tight on keys, I'm pretty sure that they both did it. Like, given how many keys Goomba had, and he didn't open the dummy door, he's made that check.
I mean, yeah, Goomba doesn't have many checks left.
I mean,
yeah, this was his fastest way over the bumpers, but after this, it's just Lanmo and Ped, right?
I think so, but my own attempts to keep track of this game have long since failed. I apologize.
And yeah, this is Lanmo play. This is... oh boy. Last locationing Ped. That feels bad.
And it still might be good enough.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't, like... Clearly Goomba's mid-game was more efficient than Illus's, but... and unfortunately I don't think I can point at where in the routing Illus went wrong. He did leave the hammer behind for a while.
Yeah, I think the hammer, leaving that behind for so long, made his routing... he had to go back several times to places that he just ran past. He lost a lot of time there, unfortunately.
I don't think he lost this much time. And yet, like, yes, he had a power cut, but or a computer crash. But
yeah, but he was already behind way before that.
Yeah.
So.
I do think it might just be, small things, efficiencies, to some extent too. But and they both, frankly, have lost 5 minutes in.
Oh. Okay, Illus is going straight for Ped. Now, he still has all of Swamp to do. He needs to find... okay, he's not going there. Okay.
Yeah, he's completely dead. He's 2 full dungeons behind. Even if he god routes this. So...
yeah. That was a custom Tower Smoky, so... pedestal hype, anyone? Because if it's not there, then we've mistracked something.
Well, there's 4 trackable items left? I don't actually know what those 4 checks are at this point. There's Ped, Big Chest, Helma, Pedestal, question mark? I assume we've seen one standing somewhere.
GT5 bar room.
Right. So I am on team. They had to have done it, otherwise the key counts don't add up. But
yeah.
All right. So we had the book to read this thing like yonks ago. Nobody thought it was worth the time at the time.
And it is a big key.
There's only one left.
To pod. Hi, old dungeon seed.
Not all dungeons. We didn't have to do Castle Tower.
True.
I'm sorry.
And at 2 hours 18, Goomba is in go mode.
I don't have the stats handy, and hopefully Tafalk or somebody that's more competent than me can pull them up in a hurry. But I would wager actual money that this is Goomba's slowest time in this tournament.
Very likely. But at least they weren't burned by the firebar room.
Pretty sure they did it. I really am. I still don't know. I literally don't know what the third item place is that Goomba hasn't checked. That. Oh, I do. There's a bottle on the Torch and GT. That's the trackable item we don't have.
Okay, so there's a Torch in GT. There's also the Torch in Desert.
Yeah, but we saw that. Was it also a bottle? Okay.
Yeah.
So there's some junk item in pod big chest.
Probably
or the bug net.
Yeah, bug net. Are we going to get a 200+ collection rate?
I'm now sad that we're running a prediction on who wins this thing, because I think the collection rate prediction would be a really high number. Actually, we can run it informally. Set the over/under line on collection rate for Goomba here.
195.
I think it's over that. This seed. You just have to shout and chat today. Illus. Oh, right. Illus can't beeline the pedestal because the big key of desert is in pod.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
So, the fact that there's a mandatory double dip of pod after all this time is just gratuitous.
Well, at least we're gonna be equipped to defeat Ganon.
Yeah, this Ganon fight is not gonna be real hard.
19 hearts.
Yeah, they left a heart piece, a quarter heart behind somewhere on purpose.
Yeah.
So. Goomba. It's a good thing you have all those hearts in red mail. So Mojo Furo, I believe we have every trackable item except the bug net. Which, yeah, is a remarkably large amount of stuff.
Get your GTs in chat for Goomba.
Lovely Ganon fight. You know, the triple to finish it off. Just really well done.
Yeah.
GG to Goomba at 223. Yikes. We'll see if these two are willing to come talk about this nonsense, and if Illus wants to finish this, which I suspect the answer is. Illus apparently has forfeited. I have him still playing. but we'll assume that that's a sync issue. There we go.
No, that's the point where he has forfeited now.
Yeah.
So,
just impressed that-
hopefully we can get them into the commentary booth here.
Yeah, if they're willing to.
They both agreed they just have to show up as Illus is now.
Excellent. Welcome, Illus.
Welcome.
GG.
GG.
Was that a computer crash at like about 2:04?
No, it was like OBS. Like it was some OBS error, but it crashed my RetroArch, so I had to kind of do it all over again. I mean, I don't know. Cost like 3 minutes. It's not like it mattered.
No, it was so right. The good news to go with the bad news that your stream crashed was that it almost really wasn't going to matter. GG's Goomba.
Hey, GG. That sucked.
Yeah, that was a terrible, terrible scene.
It really was.
So, we absolute last location on the mirror, on your side, on both sides, I think. But Goomba, you got there, what probably felt like slowly, but did you actually feel good about your play up at that point and think you were still ahead, or not?
I don't know, like, it's really hard to justify climbing GT when you don't have enough keys to get to the end, and I couldn't really imagine a scenario where you had enough keys. Because I feel like you're always gonna go down left side without the big key, then get the big key in Samaria later, and then go down right side and spend your other key to get to the big chest.
That's what I did, actually.
Yeah, same. And then obviously I don't want to climb until I get another small key.
Yeah. I was the same. I really wanted to avoid it. And I think I only had like Scarwood's big chest left because I somewhat forgot about it, I have to admit. Yeah.
I had the second chest in Castle Tower left, but I knew the Castle Tower small key was out of logic, so I didn't really care about it too much.
Yeah, that was So the climb was literal last location, and then pedestal was literal last location part 2.
Yeah, I had nothing left in the entire game.
So
wait. Where was the pod big key in the end?
On the pedestal.
Yeah.
Great. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's you. I think you've just gotten the desert big key, Illus. Yes, this is a mandatory double dip of a dungeon you couldn't possibly get into for like the first 2 hours of the scene.
Yeah, I mean, I figured it was gonna be a double dip of pod, but I figured, pod big key might just sit in Swamp Palace, but in the end it didn't. Did you? I assume you did last location pod Goomba, right?
Nah, I went back for Iron Entrance and Checkerboard Cave before I went back up to the mountain, so I had the stuff up there still.
Yeah, I see. I really had nothing left. I at the end when I checked that entrance, I was like, yep, this has to be pod.
Yeah, and then you get in there and it's not like he's not even there. So really quite an impolite scene. Other than like the first 20 minutes, great. I think you guys found Patrick absolutely loaded.
You're breaking up quite a bit, Excalibur. Robot. But one of the things at least we think from the commentary view, was that when you got your moon pearls decently around the same time, but you both only had a connector to the village of outcasts. You both went there. Goomba, you went south, got the hammer. Illus, you went north.
From the village of outcasts, you mean?
Yeah, from village of outcasts, Goomba, you went south, and you got your hammer in Arrow Game entrance.
Mm-hmm.
But Illus went north, and it took him quite a bit to get back to that Arrow Game check.
Yeah. I mean, I got a hookshot on Scarwoods, I guess, but...
Yeah, you did.
It wasn't all that great.
it turned out all that great. The other thing that
Sorry, we can't understand you. But yeah, after that, yeah, Illus, unfortunately, you were in Goomba's footsteps behind. For about 3-4 minutes at least. Then you had the unfortunate crash. But at that point, even if you didn't have it, we know that you weren't gonna catch up at that point, unfortunately.
I figured as much. Like I was looking at the race room after like 2:15. I figured it would be a little bit more straightforward at the very end, but it is still hooray. I've had 2 bad seats in the last 2 races apparently.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Illus' next opponent, if you're in chat, make sure to rush pedestal next seed.
Yep.
I mean, we were joking about a pet seed at like an hour or so, but we couldn't find that big key to desert, so it was locked for a while. But then, hey, there it is.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to go check it at some point after I did Swamp Palace, because I only had garbage locations left, and at that point, running and reading the pedestal was probably faster than most of the checks I had. But, I don't know. Didn't really seem worth it.
Yeah. Now, we have a very interesting stat coming up here for you, Goomba, and that is collection rate for the seed, because it has to be high.
I mean, yeah. Yeah, it's pretty high. Can confirm it is pretty high.
Yeah. There was not many checks you didn't get to do this seed. Floating Island was one that you got to skip.
Yeah, great. The potion shop is in Ganon's Tower, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
And that was one of your bottles. I believe the fairy for mushroom was 201, yeah. You don't have collection rates over 200 that much seeds, right, Goomba?
I feel like usually it's in the mid 180s. Sometimes like the 190s, but over 200 is really rare. Even if you full clear a seed like this, you usually don't break 200 because you skip so many freestanding items.
Yeah. But yeah, Goomba, you have now qualified for the brackets. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And Illus, good luck next race. You can still definitely make it.
Sure thing. Thank you.
But yeah, if you have any other final words for this seed or for anything else, we'll wrap up soon.
No, just thanks to restreamers, trackers, commentators, viewers, the usual.
Yeah, and I guess congrats for me, Goomba, for making it. Like,
Thank
you
you.
as well. And well, it was fun. I wasn't all that nervous because we play each other sometimes here and there. So yeah, it happens. Like I'm really not that upset about losing.
Thank you too.
But yeah, thank you guys as well, by the way.
Thank you both runners. Thank you, Goomba. Thank you, Illus, for running. It was a very fun race to see. Thank you to our trackers, Daruk and Toffil. Thank you to my co-com Excalibur. Thank you to our restreamer, Siberian. I got that right this time. Also, thank you for the entire modder team and all the teams behind this tournament that keeps all the brackets up to date and so on. They are doing so much work in the background. Thank you all. And with that, I'm gonna leave it over to Siberian to see us out.
And the final thank you to our second commentator, the Titan. Don't forget him. before we raid over to ZSR2, where we have a Majora's Mask randomizer match going on, just a quick preview what's up next here on ZSR. We have, let me check the time. Okay, the next one is 6 PM Eastern, Ocarina of Time, Standard NA Weekly. And at 8 PM Eastern, another Majora's Mask randomizer tournament match. For more Zelda content, make sure to check our schedule. Any final words? Maybe Excalibur?
I mean, the only final word I have is that I hope I'm not a robot.
Not as bad as before.
Have a good night, everyone.
Anyways, thank you very much for watching. See you next time here on ZSR.